Have played 45 matches over the years. Some of them have been very lopsided. In fact, Mexico has the huge edge overall, but in the last 10 matches, it's been virtually even. Mike Hill has more on this rivalry. Let's go back to our studio.
Well, thanks, JP. Yes, the United States and Mexico, it's becoming now one of the biggest rivalries in world football. Wasn't always like that. Mexico were very much the dominant partner, but that has been changing over recent years as we now take a look at the rivalry between these two great nations that are one of the biggest rivalries in football involves the United States and neighboring Mexico. 45 meetings dominated at first by the Mexicans. But in the past 10 games, Mexico defeated the US 3 times. But in the 1995 US Cup, the Americans sent a jarring message to Mexico. 4 unanswered goals established the red, white and blue as the region's heavyweights. And when the two met in the 1995 Copa America, Mexico was stunned again. After a scoreless match in the quarterfinals, the United States sent Mexico away, winning in a penalty shootout. After Bora Milutinovic was released by the States in '95 and was signed with Mexico, the rivalry heated up. The team squared off in US Cup '96, ending in a 2-2 draw. Enough for Mexico to win the Cup, but it still wasn't a win. But in 1997 US Cup in January, Mexico finally got the victory with a 2-0 win in Pasadena, California. It was a match filled with emotion.
I think the rivalry is great for the fans. There's no question that Mexico brought their veteran team here because they wanted to make a statement. And the statement is that they continue to be the leader in CONCACAF. We, on the other hand, want to make that statement in World Cup qualifying.
I learned in the state that every game is important. Every game you need to win. For this, we make always our best to win the game.
At times it can get very physical, to the point of near violence, but it's a rivalry that excites the players.
It's a huge rivalry. We're only separated at some points by one river, and the soccer that we've played in the last few years has definitely risen, and we've been able to challenge Mexico, and because of that, there's a huge rivalry. And it's just, I think it's going to grow over time, and there's going to be some tempers, and there's going to be some chippish things going on out there, and that's part of the game, and it's the referee's responsibility to control that.
For us, it's good because we've gotten off to a good start this year. A year that's very important for the hopes of the Mexican national team to come to the US Cup and get good results against 2 good teams, against Denmark and especially against the United States, who's a rival that we know very well, and the grand rivalry that exists.
Que es un rival que ya nos conocemos muy bien y de gran rivalidad que existe.
Well, let's have a look at the history of these two countries. The USA, of course, second round in 1994. They qualified for the 1990 World Cup in Italy, but of course they shocked the world in 1950. That was when the World Cup was held in Brazil. They beat England by 1-0. As for Mexico, well, they've been in the World Cup finals quite regularly, 2 quarter-final appearances, but both of those was when Mexico actually hosted the World Cup. In 1994, they made it through to the second round from a strong group including Norway, Ireland and Italy. Well, there's
centro stracciarà al sonora rugiere del cañón. Il tiemlenzo centro stracciarà al sonora rugiere del cañón.
We will go back down to the field for the American national anthem.
the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare of England gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home above the wave?
You want atmosphere? You've got it here. It's like a World Cup venue between the United States and Mexico. It's been quite a rivalry. And Tommy, in one of the earlier matches, the rivalry became even stronger when Alexi Lalas and Ramirez got together.
Well, Ramirez is reputed to have made contact with Lalas, and Lalas goes down very hurt indeed. And that was really a nasty incident. Lalas stayed down for quite a while. You can see him falling there.
Unfortunately, the referee didn't see it, so there was no punishment given out. But there's quite the memory for Lalas, and I'm sure from Ramirez and the other players on both of these sides. Let's check out the starting lineups now for these two sides. And for the United States, they're going to be using a flat back four, which is a change, no sweeper, with some certain individual matchups to consider.
Well, you can see Pope, Balboa, Lalas, and Egas are the men at the back, and they're going to try. Pope is going to push up, make sure Ramirez doesn't come up on the side. They're going to put Reina up very deep. He's going to be in control of the ball up there. Even if they do give it away, it means that the ball is deep in the Mexican half. And of course, Ronaldo will be the man they will be looking to notch the scores.
USA coached by Steve Sampson. On the Mexican side, the two players to look for up top, definitely Hermosillo and Zaghi or Zaguinho. They could be quite the factor.
Well, Zaghi, his job is to stretch this defense as far as he can, get the ball across into the middle. Coyote and Galendo is the man who are going to be coming down through the middle, and they will supply the ball to Hermosillo.
Mexico coached by Bora Milutinovic, the former head coach of the United States, who has won more games than any other coach in U.S. soccer history. We're coming to you from Foxborough Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, where for the first time other than a World Cup game, a venue has been sold out in advance. Your officials are from Paraguay. Ubaldo Valenzano will be the man in the middle, and he's got a tough job, Tommy, because the rivalry is indeed intense and bitter, and as we said earlier, so many stories within the story.
Well, there's certainly no love lost, and one man who epitomizes that is Ronaldo. Ronaldo says when he gets out on the field, he just hates the players that he's going to play against. So you can expect they'll be given and they'll be taken. There'll be a lot of action in this one.
You've got Casey Keller, who was not given a chance by Bora Milutinovic for the 1994 World Cup, and others. 12 degrees Celsius today in Foxborough. Great day, especially when you consider the weather problems that this area has had over the last couple of days. Some rain and even, yes, snow in some areas. So it's a gorgeous day for football.
Well, the last time Casey Keller played against Mexico, he beat them 4-0. He has never given up a World Cup qualifying goal on the United States soil, defeating Canada, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago and Guatemala.
The United States will attack from left to right as we are almost set for action. Tremendous atmosphere, as I said before, like a World Cup venue. Mexico's in green, USA in white. Wijnaldum and Reina are over the ball for the USA.
Well, the first 10 minutes of any game is going to be important, but the first 10 minutes of today's game, JP, is going to be so important. A huge crowd here, atmosphere.
There's Bora Milutinovic. This is the scene of one of his greatest triumphs. He coached the USA over England, a 2-0 win in US Cup 93 in this stadium. Lalas scored a goal in that one. It was one of his best games ever for the United States.
And would you believe in the last couple of games they played, 107 fouls has been called. That's in 3 US-Mexico games. Unbelievable. 20 yellow cards given out. So, I mean, these two teams really despise one another.
We're underway. Reyna will play it back. Agus, number 12, playing it up for Stewart. Brought back down. 21 is Reyna. Wijnaldum settles. Claudio Reyna giving it up. Intercepted at the back. Ramirez loses. High pressure for the United States. Intended for Hermosillo. Lalas collides with him. It goes against Hermosillo. That's a matchup to watch all day.
Well, the two of them so good in the air. Lalas that time got nicked on the forehead.
Lalas will play it back to Casey Keller. Keller fresh off a win the other day, and it's deflected back, and a goal for Mexico. Hermosillo on a Keller mistake.
Well, a definite mental lapse by Casey Keller. I'm not sure what he was doing. Hermosillo had no intentions of scoring a goal there. He was just going to try to take Keller out of the play, and instead Casey Keller hits the ball off and the ball ends up in the back of the net. What a disastrous start for the US.
On his first touch, Hermosillo will get it in the first minute. Keller, as you said, unscored upon on US soil, makes that error after coming back from England on Wednesday, where he defeated Middlesbrough in a League Cup final.
And in that game he made an incredible save to keep the victory alive for Leicester the last minutes of the game, but bad start here.
Uncharacteristic of Keller at any stage, let alone in the first minute. So the USA already down by a goal, and some people haven't made their way into the stadium yet.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do, watch Keller here. He takes the ball onto his foot, it's played back to him. He tries to kick it, and he hits it right off Hermosillo, and it bounces all the way back into the net.
Back on live action. You're watching the USA versus Mexico. Casey Keller will have to forget about that one.
Well, I'm sure he's already put it out of his mind. It can't affect the rest of his game. If it does, he's going to be in real trouble.
There is Hermosillo, who led Mexico 3 times, 3 years in scoring in the Mexican League, 3 straight. Ramirez plays it back.
Well, you can expect the Mexicans are going to play keep away now, JP.
Suarez up the middle. Now played back. 5 is Davino. One of Bora Militovic's discoveries. He played on the Olympic side. It goes out. Pope is there. He'll be marking Zaguinho today. Ramon Ramirez, number 7. Back to 5, Davino. Reyna chases. So does Wijnaldum. It's back to Rios. Rios clearance. Wijnaldum forced it out. It's a USA throw-in.
Well, Wijnaldum trying to do exactly what happened on the opposite side with Hermosillo. And amazingly, I mean, Bora didn't like Hermosillo. I mean, he had a few confrontations with Hermosillo, and took him a long while to get himself back on the team, but I'm sure he's the hero right now.
Mexico will play this one long. It goes at the other end. Balboa's back for it, and it goes out of play. Balboa with a throw-in. And he'll give it up now for Agus to take it. Hermosillo, number 27, has the only goal off a Keller miscue. So it has put the USA in a bad start. Down 1-0 after a minute. Keller is back. And he'll clear it. Hernandez was putting on the pressure.
Well, you can see Ramirez has been allowed to drop into the middle. We expected him to stay on the left, but he's not going to go forward like he might have if they were down by a goal.
Suarez to Zaguinho. Ramirez in a space. Lalas has it covered. Tried to find Eddie Pope up the sideline, but it didn't go.
Well, Zaggy and Pope, that's going to be a battle all day on the right-hand side of the American defense.
Ramirez, number 7. Played long by Coyote for Hernandez. Hernandez on the wing side. Agus takes him down. It goes out. It's a corner.
Well, Hernandez with a couple of nice moves. Little tricky moves. He tried to put the ball between the legs of Vegas, but Vegas knocked it out for the corner.
Ready to take it. Benjamin Galindo, number 17. 36 years old. He now plays with Santos. Galindo bends it inside. Oh, Alice may have gotten away with one as Hermosillo went down. Mexico with a chance in the box. Some holding going on both sides. And the whistle sounds it's going against Mexico. Suarez was going forward on that play.
Well, it looked like Lalas made a bit of contact just outside of the penalty spot, but referee didn't see any of it.
John Harkes, team captain for the United States. He replaced Marcelo Balboa as the official captain of the team. Throw in on the far side. 13 is Pardo for Mexico. Back to Davino. Mexico lead 1-0 on a Hermosillo goal, 1 minute in. Eddie Pope, who plays with DC United, up for Mike Sorber. Stripped, but a foul. Sorber knows the Mexican style, having played with UNAM last year.
Well, Sorber now playing with the Metro Stars in the MLS, and he impressed the coach. That's how he got the start here today.
Along the far sideline, USA attacking on the give and go. It's behind Agus. Taken back by Hernandez. Harkes breaks it up. Ernie Stewart, who can create very well on the right. Ramirez stays back with him. Zaguinho takes it over. Zaguinho holds. Alberto Garcia-Aspe broken up by Harkes.
Handball, but the referee played the advantage.
Wijnaldum wide. Dooley makes a run for the box. Wijnaldum's cross headed out by Suarez. Kept in play by Hernandez.
Well, initially we didn't think Suarez was going to play, but he's having quite a role down there already.
He was not in the original lineup. Offside, Zaguinho. Well, the USA game plan hasn't changed, Tommy. They wanted to be more offensive-minded, but Mexico's may have changed because they have a 1-0 lead.
Well, they're going to certainly hold on to the ball.
I mean, Ramirez is not pushed forward at all, and that was a U.S. concern. That's one of the matchups they like, with Stewart on that right side, keeping Ramirez honest and maybe beating him at that end. But that's not happening yet with the USA down by a goal. Mexico settles in the green and white uniforms, pushed wide to Zaguinho, who plays now with Atlante, formerly with America. This man scored 7 goals once in a Gold Cup game. Tackled away by Eddie Pope, who will want to play Zaguinho physical.
Well, Eddie Pope, of course, the hero for DC United in the MLS final right here on this particular ground. I think he's given Zaguinho a little bit too much room, JP. If you're going to give him that much room, he'll take you on and beat you. That time Pope got a foot to the ball.
Number 8, Alberto Garcia-Aspe playing it in. Lalas has his man marked. Now Balboa clears for Stewart. Switched by Mexico. They possess. It is Pardo to Hernandez. Blocked by Jeff Agus. Agus down the flying side. Now to the middle. And it's busted up. Agus went down that far wing and then brought it right to the center, but there was no other help. Back into space, onside. Hernandez will walk into the break. Balboa chases, and he shot it wide. Remember that one. If the USA come back and win this, they can't afford to trail Mexico by a couple.
Well, if Hernandez scores here, it was going to be a long day for the United States. He walks in, look at this, he's onside. The long ball from way back in their own half. He runs right in behind Agus. He's racing through. Keller doesn't come off his line. He simply just missed the ball, JP. He just missed the goal. Look at that. The Mexico outshooting the United States 2-0. US haven't had a shot on goal yet.
Throw-in coming up on that far sideline for Mexico. Mexico leads 1-0 on an Hermosillo goal. Here's Lalas giving it up to Agus. Harkes puts it into space for Dooley. He can't get by. Mexico back the other way. At the halfway line, Ramirez switches. Galindo looking. Benjamin Galindo puts it forward, way offside by Hermosillo, and then he tried to tuck it in. Yellow card maybe? Just a warning.
He's just going to get a verbal warning. With the noise that's here, it'd be very, very difficult to hear a referee's whistle today, JP.
He got a break. He has to know he's way offside there. Keller will have a goal kick coming up. We will have our Road to World Cup 98 coverage continuing on ESPN April 27, 28 that weekend. Canada versus Jamaica. Check your local listings for the time in your area. Tommy and I will be along for the call of that one. Up the right side, Mexico on the attack to the halfway line. Hernandez lost it. Reyna was over there pressuring. Agus is 12 on the ball for the USA. Back for Eddie Pope. Pope scored the game winner against the LA Galaxy right here in this field. Although the field that day in the MLS Championship was in horrible shape with a torrential downpour. There's Thomas Dooley, the oldest player out there right now for the USA. Very experienced player, has been a big help to this club. Here's Dooley, the veteran of play in Germany. All the way back into the Mexico end. Zaguinho. Ernie Stewart, and a foul on Alberto Garcia-Aspe, Mexico's captain.
Well, the captain just gave Ernie Stewart a little dunt in the back. Man who makes his living playing in Holland, getting up a little bit gingerly.
Stewart back from suspension. He missed the last game against Costa Rica. Here's how it happened.
Oh, you're going to see the two players go for the ball, and Aspe just comes up underneath him, gives him the nudge, and down he goes.
USA would like to take advantage of their height on these attacking set pieces. Here's Reyna looking for Lalas, the header. Too high. But it's what they wanted. And apparently it's deflected. It's going to be a corner kick.
Well, they're going to win those aerial battles in there because they're so much taller. And, of course, Lalas with good leaping ability. They'll be looking for the same again on the corner.
Johnny Harkes will take it. With an in-swinger to the middle. And that header's too high. Eddie Pope got through. Pope and Lalas so strong in the air. And Balboa is another one that can give you problems. He has scored a lot of goals like that.
Well, good pressure from the United States on the two set pieces. First time really that they put any pressure on the goalkeeper, and you can see Pope coming up. He simply out-jumps everybody, reacts to the ball quickest, but puts it over the top. Adolfo
Rios, starting goalkeeper for Mexico. Jorge Campos has been injured. He is now back playing for Atlante, but he has not gotten a recall to the national team. But right now, Rios is winning and shutting out the opposition.
I can't understand why Rios leading 1-0. He'd be looking to kick the ball short.
USA will take it with Reyna. Switch to the other side. They wanted Stewart. Winaldo almost picked it off. Dooley sticking in. Mexico clears to the halfway line. Hermosillo heads it across. Galindo is 17 on the run. Offside flag goes up on Mexico. Agus. Right back to him. Jeff Agus, the starter for DC United of Major League Soccer, where a majority now of the U.S. players are playing. Mexico pushing forward. Suarez in the attack. Wide right, Hernandez. Couple of cuts for Hernandez. He's a handful. He'll cross it, and Keller's got it.
Well, Hernandez is really causing a lot of problems over on that right-hand side.
You're watching the United States versus Mexico from a sold-out Foxborough Stadium. This is ESPN's Road to World Cup 98. Hermosillo has the only goal. 3 teams from CONCACAF will be playing in France's World Cup in 98. Most people figure it will be these 2 teams and, more than likely now, Costa Rica.
Mexico now employing a flat back forward, the same as the United States. They have Ramirez across there. Davino is one of the central defenders along with Suarez, and Pardo has gone over on the far side, number 13. So they're just going to try to stifle the U.S.
All the way back at the other end. Ramirez with Stewart. And Stewart fouled him. Ernie Stewart scored a great goal against Canada, but in that game he was getting his second yellow card. That's why he was out last game. This is Stewart again.
Well, you're going to see, they haven't quite a tussle. I don't think he fouled him at all. I think Ramirez simply fell down and Stewart was in the vicinity, so he was guilty on suspicion.
A duly foul as we're back on live action. They've got the scoreboard clock here ready for a Major League Soccer's game, which comes up after this, not televised here on ESPN. So the clock is going from 45 minutes down here in the stadium. A unique doubleheader today, Tampa Bay and New England after this. Reyna. A tackle from behind, and it's called on Hermosillo.
Well, that's not exactly what Sampson wanted Reyna to do, JP. He's picking the ball up in his own half. He wanted him deep in the Mexican half.
Suarez. Almost busted up. Agus pressing.
Just the Mexicans look so self-assured on the ball. I mean, they look so comfortable with it. Pardo that time took her away from Agus.
Davino plays it across. Pardo to Hernandez. Hernandez pass picked off. There is Reyna. Stewart to Reyna. Pushing it. Ernie Stewart chases. And Stewart pulls down Ramirez. Foul called on Ernie Stewart.
Well, you're going to see once again the two players who have been fouling one another all afternoon. This time Ernie Stewart just puts a headlock on Ramirez and pulls them down. A good call by the referee this time.
This is one of the battles that Steve Sampson was looking at for the United States. Fouls are even, but not as physical a game as the previous three so far. Lalas wins that one. Foul of Mexico.
Well, they've averaged over 30 fouls a game in the last 3 games. You can see Lalas not too happy with what's going on out there.
They'll play it long. And Winalda, oh, they're going to call that on Winalda. He's not happy about it, but he must be careful. He's one of several U.S. players playing with a yellow card, and they do not want to be without him the next game.
Well, Galindo is the man who gets involved with Winalda. The referee is telling Winalda, you better go about your business.
Eric Winalda, 30 goals this career in a U.S. uniform, more than anyone else. Bruce Murray had the record at 21. Zaguinho plays it back. Galindo is 17. Up the middle pass, now wide left. Galindo in a space. Lalas is there. We're in the 18th minute of the first half. It's a 1-0 Mexico lead. Hermosillo has the only goal. He's working hard on the far sideline to win it for Hernandez. A blind pass picked up. Ernie Stewart. Winalda on the right. To the byline. Get a corner out of it as Ramirez knocked it out.
Well, the United States taking advantage of a very bad miscue by the Mexican defenders. Winalda working it towards the byline. Ramirez knocks it out for the corner.
Parks will go over to take it. Mexico leads 1-0 on an Hermosillo goal. Parks is ready. Keeps it low. It's cleared out by Mexico. Lone attacker, Hernandez. Agus is over there. And now it's going against Hernandez.
Well, I'm not sure why Harks plays that ball across low, JP. I mean, they've taken up the big men, so they're open at the back. They're lucky Hernandez doesn't get around Agus because Lalas and Pope are up for the corner.
And Hermosillo. Look at these moves. Agus got a piece of him. Hernandez gets the rest of the ball. Hernandez brings it to the right foot of the box. The cross. It's behind Zaguinho. But Mexico again looks very threatening.
Oh, Hernandez blew by Lalas like he wasn't there. He worked his way in on the right-hand side, but he didn't have the support. Hermosillo normally on the left-hand side, or Zaguinho, but neither of them there this time.
Wijnaldum heading it forward. Blocked by Mexico. This is Ramirez.
Well, the United States have made a tactical change. Wijnaldum has come over on the right. Ernie Stewart has dropped into the middle now.
Stewart over on the far side chasing.
Well, Ramirez was winning the battle against Stewart, so maybe Sampson decided to take him off for a while. Nobody on him right now, and he's all alone. Look at
Ramon Ramirez with plenty of time to think about it. Alberto Garcia Aspe will play it back. Coyote across. Ramirez, this is as deep as he's gone. Give and go, you could see it coming, and Pope knocked it out. That's the danger of Ramirez up the flank, unmarked.
Oh, one of the most respected players in the game, JP. Eddie Pope gets a touch and takes it away from him. That's the first time he's come on the attack.
Corner kick coming up for Mexico. Galindo played it to the near post. It's up there. It's up for grabs, and Keller punched it down. He didn't catch it. Galindo doesn't get to this as it's cleared out. All the way back into the Mexico end.
Oh, a little bit of indecision at the back for the United States there. Keller lucky to get away with it.
Parks was the one that cleared it. Mexico leads here 1-0. We're in the 22nd minute. Hermosillo on the turn. Lalas and then Agos, or make it Balboa. And it results in a corner.
Balboa coming back. He was the man who saved the day. Hermosillo was just swinging around Lalas. Sampson can't be happy with the way things are going, JP. And this is not in his game plan.
Galindo kept it low. He wanted Suarez. Picked off Ernie Stewart. Trying to go off to the races. Can't get around his man. And fouled him. Ernie's had at least 3 fouls here in the first half. Our road to World Cup 98 continues live at the end of April. You'll see Russia versus Luxembourg. Check your local listings for the exact time in your area. Plenty of games coming up on our Road to World Cup 98 schedule on ESPN.
Well, we're level with the fouls at 6 apiece. This game really hasn't taken on the physical aspect that other games had between these two teams. More intent on playing football.
All the way back, Hernandez. Blocked by Lalas right there, Hermosillo. Hermosillo pulled Keller out. The flag was up though on the other side, and it was acknowledged. They had it offside, but at first it was not acknowledged.
I think they maybe even said that Hermosillo handled the ball as he goes in.
That was close, and we couldn't tell from this angle. But if it was indeed a handball call, then it was the referee's assistant that helped out, because the referee would have blown the whistle dead right away. Tommy, the USA came in with a game plan. They don't look like they've ever gotten into it, probably because of that 1-goal deficit early.
Well, the mistake early really cost them. I mean, it took them out of the game completely. And I mean, they've never been allowed to settle, JP. They haven't gotten into any kind of a rhythm. The speed of the Mexican team is really causing them all kinds of problems.
Here's Reyna. Mike Sorber.
One of the first touches he's had in the game.
Played wide. USA on it. Wijnaldum. Trying to play it in the box. Blocked. Harks was over there, but late. Lalas at the halfway line. Knocks it ahead. It's picked up by Coyote. We're in the 24th minute, approaching the 25th. Mexico leads 1-0 from Foxborough Stadium. It's been sold out for days. Galindo blocked by Pope. Reyna has time and space. Reyna plays with Bayer Leverkusen, but he's not getting playing time really with that club. Here's Agos. Stripped on the far wing by Pardo, another one of the Olympic players from Mexico. Suarez lets it go for Coyote. Alberto Garcia Aspe wide left side for Zaguinho. Pope chases him. Ramirez puts it on a string the other way, but Lalas blocks it. Dooley with a flick on to Winalda. Here's Reyna. To Winalda. And this one's knocked out, and finally Winalda says, is it going to go my way? Yes, it does.
Well, we're going to see the previous call, the one that happened down at the opposite end of the field at Hermosy involved. Here's the ball going in. He's already, flag has gone up a long time before he goes out over the end byline.
Here's Winalda at the other end, and there's the foul against Pardo. Winalda scored 30 goals for the United States, 15 while Steve Sampson has been their coach. And Winalda's their leading scorer in CONCACAF. Agus is back over the ball, so is Sorber, and Reyna's going over there too. It's Agus, if it's off the left foot, he'll send it inside, and it's right to Hermosillo.
Oh, what a wasted opportunity. I mean, he picked out Hermosillo on the box, but that wasn't the intent.
Reyna trying to settle in this game. Reyna's such an important factor, but right now he hasn't been able to dictate any of the pace.
Well, I mean, Coyote is playing in the midfield. He's just taking everything, like he owns the ball.
The speed of Pope back against Saguinho. Lalas helps out, and Lalas will win the ball. Alexei Lalas, the first United States player to ever play in Italy's Serie A, played with Padova a couple of years back.
Well, that was a case of Pope just slowing him up, and Lalas got time to get in and strip the ball away.
Stewart back to Keller.
Ironic cheers from the crowd when Keller clears it like that.
Ramirez. Alberto Garcia Aspe. You don't want him to shoot from distance because he's got a wicked shot. He'll take most of their frees from outside. This one is deflected out by Agus. Throw-in for Mexico. We're coming to you today from Foxborough Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. Our road to World Cup 98 continues with Mexico and the USA. Mexico on top thanks to a Hermosillo goal in the first minute. The flag is up once again on Mexico. A rare mistake by Casey Keller caused that first goal in trying to clear it away from his goal area. It deflected off Hermosillo and rolled right back into Keller's net.
I still can't understand why he did it that way, JP, because he had the complete opposite side all open. I mean, he didn't have to go near where Hermosillo was at all.
Here's Dooley. Thomas Dooley plays it wide. Eric Winalda. Players go forward for the USA. Winalda splits two. In the box, it's knocked away. Winalda on the recovery, and then he's upended. And then Winalda just ran into someone else with an elbow. Here's Dooley going down. No call. From up here, it looked like a little embellishing on Dooley's part. That's from our angle anyway.
Well, now it's starting to get physical. Eric Winalda is starting to take the law into his own hands. He's got to be careful.
He really does, because he's already got the one yellow card against him, and they don't want to go to the next game in El Salvador without Winalda.
Well, here's the situation inside of the box. Dooley does embellish it. Referee made no call.
Lalas will give it up. We're back on live action. Agus in the 29th minute. 1-0 Mexico. John Harkes into space. Ernie Stewart, but Rios is there.
Oh, look where Rios is, JP, out almost on the edge of his box. He anticipated well, he got out there in good shape.
Well, the focus of the attack has changed somewhat. John Harkes making more runs forward. Reyna has not gone forward as much as we had thought originally. Stewart has changed up some of his runs, but is now back pretty much on that right side, cheating more to the halfway line with Pope pushing up.
Well, what they're trying to do is trying to contain the midfield play of the Mexicans, which is not happening. I mean, Coyote out there is dictating what's going on. And when it comes this way, Ramirez is having a field day.
Throw-in coming up for Mexico. They lead it by a goal, thanks to Hermosillo. There's Claudio Reyna, who has yet to play in this second round, this final round, a full 90 minutes.
Well, he looks like he's dragging just a little bit already, JP. He looks like he has that kind of an anxious look on his face. Might be just the stress of being behind 1-0.
Again, he's not playing much at all with Bayer Leverkusen. He trains with them, but he has not had a lot of playing time at all.
The youngest,
many of these other players.
Youngest player on the US team of the World Cup in '94, and everybody figured he was going to become one of the big stars. He's having problems.
Wijnaldum. When he gets the ball, fans are standing. And it's cut off by Rios, but anytime Wijnaldum touches the ball, there's an excitement in the crowd.
Well, Wijnaldum does a lot of talking. He does a lot of talking to his teammates, to the referee. That time he had no excuse. He just simply hit the ball to the keeper's hands.
We're in the 31st minute. Mexico with a 1-0 lead. Ramirez. Zaguinho. Back to Alberto Garcia Aspe, number 8. Coyote. Mexico among the better teams anywhere, any part of the world at ball possession. Balboa with a clearance. Swung across by Dooley to Ernie Stewart. Stewart playing very well these days with NAC Breda.
Well, he played for a while with Willem II, and now he's moved on to NAC Breda.
Agus keeps it on the ground for Wijnaldum. Try to find Harks. Taken back at the other side. Hernandez. Ramirez left. Here's Zaguinho. Coyote can't beat Sorber, but Zaguinho may. For Hermosillo, Hernandez held up his run. This is in a space, but too far for Hernandez. Good try, though, by Hermosillo. Should be a goal kick coming up in the 32nd minute of the first half. ESPN's Road to World Cup 98 will continue. Check out Turkey versus Belgium. Those are the dates. Different in different parts of the world. Check your local listings for the exact time in your area. Turkey and Belgium. At the halfway line, 3 players miss. Wijnaldum gave it up. Harks pulls it back. Dooley. How's it go? Dooley's shot went high and wide. But not a bad opportunity and not a bad thought for Thomas Dooley, especially against, right now anyway, Tommy, an untested goalkeeper.
Well, he hasn't had any pressure on him at all, and Dooley decides that he just had that little bit of space. You see him pick the ball up just outside of the box. Nobody closes him down. He rifles it. It's wide to the left and a little high.
Good opportunity by Thomas Dooley. Back to live action. Mexico will take it. Wijnaldum chasing Pardo.
Well, that's the big problem that the US are having, JP. They're just not getting any penetration. That's why Dooley had it like to shoot from out there.
Hernandez in a battle with Agus. Galindo in the air. Keller's got it. He's used to that, playing in the English Premier League, being strong in the air. You don't survive in England as a goalkeeper if you're not. Sam's Army giving it a local flavor at Foxborough, Massachusetts. And unofficial, or maybe even official now, U.S. Soccer Fan Club. Reyna with a high foot. Is it a yellow on Davino? Referee's going to the pocket, yellow card. Davino. And Reyna is down.
I think Reyna gets hit in the face, maybe in the chest. He's certainly got hit very high. Let's see what happens here. Here's Reyna. The ball hops up to him, and it isn't right on the chin. Look at how high that one is.
Well, there can be no arguing a call like that on a yellow card. Right up near the face area. Davino gets the yellow, and the USA will get a free kick. Well, if you're wondering what the USA might do differently later on in terms of goal scoring, Roy Lassiter, who is a great goal scorer, is not dressed for the game. He has a groin injury, so you won't see him. There are other players on the bench, like a Brian McBride, who has experience, Michael Mason, who does not, but guys that can go forward.
Well, I think what they need now, JP, is somebody to hold on to the ball and pull the Mexican defense out and try to create some space behind it. It's not happening. Reyna was supposed to do that. He hasn't accomplished his task today.
It's the 4th game in this round where Wijnaldum's played with a different partner up front as well. The USA continue to experiment to find someone that can play alongside Wijnaldum. There is Rios, right now Mexico's #1 keeper. Reyna has the potential to strike these well. He sends it in. Balboa was there. Wijnaldum, the header. Lala's push. Rebound, goal. Eddie Pope. It's time.
talking about. The US is going to win it all the time. It's flicked down by the defender, then it comes back across. Ernie Stewart puts it in. Pope coming in, and there's the bulge of the old onion bag. Nobody picked Pope up. He came from the opposite side that he normally comes from, and he was left all alone, and he just slotted the ball home. Beautiful goal by Pope. We said he scored one here in the final of the MLS. This one's just as important.
Coming back to live action, Reyna has just been given a yellow card, and Ronaldo is having some words with a couple of the Mexican players. But Reyna was just issued a yellow while we were on replay. All the way to the far side, here's Mexico. Let's see how this changes the game. That goal in the 35th minute. Eddie Pope does not play like a player who has only had 8 caps for his country. This is his 8th cap. He has scored 2 goals. He has a lot of poise. That's a huge goal. Here's Ramirez. Right inside, headed away. Hernandez, that's out. Tommy, I have called a lot of games in this country, and that's as loud as an ovation I've ever heard for a United States goal other than in a World Cup.
Oh, there's no question about it. I mean, the crowd here now is more than 60-40 in favor of the US, and they really responded very well to Pope. Pope took it so well, JP. I mean, he is playing on the right-hand side of the field. He pops up on the left-hand side of the field. Nobody tracked him.
Rios is coming out. Ronaldo was chasing that ball, but it's Ramirez. And now Reyna with more life to him right now. Balboa, momentum has changed. Cleared out by Mexico, feeling the heat.
Well, you can see the Mexicans are starting to come under a little bit of pressure. They're not as confident on the ball. Sampson's up off the bench, encouraging people.
And right now the referee is stopping play for a moment. We're coming to you today from Foxborough Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. All sold out, almost 58,000 people. It's a 1-1 game. Hermosillo and Pope are your goal scorers, about 34 minutes apart. Reyna has actually come to life after that high kick he received from Davino. Agus. Wide left, Dooley. Back for Agus. USA now playing with confidence on the ball. Eddie Pope. What a year he's had. Olympics, national team, and DC United were the champions in Major League Soccer. Mike Sorber coming back. Agus with a knock up the middle. Johnny Harkes lays it off. Look at the ball possession here for the U.S. In the 39th minute, it's even at 1. Agus. Oh, this is the way Steve Sampson loves to see the USA play. With that kind of ball possession, he wouldn't have liked that last pass, but Tommy, that was about a dozen passes that they strung together, and Mexico couldn't get the ball back.
Well, they're starting to get into the game. The only problem with their passing there was they didn't make up a whole lot of ground, and then when they did want that final pass, they put it into touch. So it looked pretty, but it became a wasted effort.
Rios back in goal for Mexico. Even at 1. Remember the chance that Hernandez had in the first half when it was a 1-0 lead. He had a breakaway and he shot wide of Keller. At that point, it would have been 2-0 Mexico. Instead, the USA lived on and they've tied this game. Stewart heads it to Reyna. Right back for Ernie Stewart with that blinding speed, but it's tackled out. Good play by Davino. Throw in for the United States. Stewart with it. Back for Eddie Pope. Mike Sorber into the middle. Balboa. All the way across for Agus. A natural left footer, and I guess that was out. Jeff Agus making that run down the wing. He's just saying to the referee, hold ball, hold ball. Agus with a little something to prove. Boris Milutinovic cut him prior to World Cup '94. A lot of people thought Jeff Agus was going to make this club.
Oh, such an experienced player. He's been with the system since '85. Actually born in Switzerland, and you can see Ronaldo's down.
Didn't see what had happened that led to that, but Ronaldo is down in the 40th minute. The USA's all-time leading goal scorer. He played in 2 World Cups. hoping to play in a third one under Steve Sampson. And Ronaldo's back up as the ball is played back toward Rios.
Sportingly, the United States give them back the ball.
Steve Sampson, the former assistant coach under Bora Milutinovic during World Cup '94, named the interim coach, and then has taken over since. Dooley. Stewart. Into space. Wijnaldum settles. Wanted to have a go off the right foot, but couldn't bring it down. Instead, it's Galindo.
Oh, the Mexican defense know exactly what they have to do with Wijnaldum, JP, and they've done a good job. I mean, they're driving him across the middle. They're not allowing him to penetrate into the box.
Hernandez. Off a block, it's loose. Mexico with Hernandez holding, playing it back. Elbows all over the place. Dooley upends a player. Ramirez tackle away. Sorber with a nice move. Alberto Garcia Aspe back to Ramirez. He's got that good left. He goes far post, blocked. Balboa may have saved the goal. Certainly a chance. Suarez. It's wide open now. Both teams. Mexico back at the halfway line. Ramirez. Off the referee, right back to him. That's okay. That's legal. Played across. Galindo. Into the box. Laid off. What a shot! Alberto Garcia Aspe. We told you he had the wicked shot.
Well, he blistered that one. It just kept curling away from the keeper all the time. Good setup by the Mexicans. They're starting to get back into it. The ball is played back out. He takes advantage of it. Look at that. It just curls about 2 foot wide of the post. Garcia Aspe was the man with that ferocious left-footed shot. I'm not sure Keller would have been able to get to it, JP. It was going rather quick.
On the radar gun, it probably would have been in the 80s in terms of miles per hour. Road to World Cup 98 continues. Coming up, U.S. Cup 97 highlights. That's at halftime, plus first half highlights from this one, including the 2 goals of the first half. Mike Hill will be along in our studios to bring you up to date. Ramirez to Zaguinho. Garcia Aspe's pass blocked. Park stepped over it, lost it, and a foul. That's why he lost it. He was fouled by Coyote. John Harkes has recovered from some injuries that he had while still playing in that Costa Rica game. He came into this match, we were told, very healthy. A true leader for the U.S. team. Fouls are now at 18. Anxious eyes on that USA bench, looking a little bit different than they were a while ago when their side was down. Now it's 1-1. 44th minute, and some injury time for sure. Stewart. Morena. Galindo won it back for Zaguinho. Almost picked off. Ronaldo was getting into that space. Galindo. Dooley chases. Galindo leads it. Lalas blocked it. It was intended for Hermosillo. Here's Zaguinho. Sidestepped Eddie Pope. Plays it across. Hernandez was held up. Good job by Agus. And a foul upfield. Free kick coming up for the United States. We'll make it for Mexico, Meyer. On the far side, here's Pardo. Hernandez. We're seconds away from injury time. Coyote gave it up in the wing. Pardo. Lifted into the box. Offside flag up on Hermosillo. And by the way, Lalas has done a very good job today at Hermosillo. It was obviously not Lalas' fault on the Hermosillo goal.
Oh yeah, he's done very well to contain him, and Burrow can't be happy with what he's seeing out there in the middle. I mean, Mexico's starting to control the game again, which is bad news for Sampson, so he's going to have to talk to the troops at half-time.
Casey Keller will clear it. We're in injury time by about a half a minute. Alberto Garcia-Aspe will play it back. There's Adolfo Rios, who plays for the club side Veracruz in Mexico's first division.
Well, Rios has got his chance with Campos' injury, and he's making the best of it. He's found himself a job in those nets. You couldn't fault him on the Eddie Pope goal in either.
That's the first goal Rios has given up in this round, in this his fourth game, in this final round of CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. Is that it? Good first half, Tommy. That Hernandez missed, though, gave the USA a chance to come back, and that they did.
Yeah, it certainly did. The US came into the game very much in the middle of that half. Mexico starting to dominate again. It'll be interesting to see. There's a nice black guy, Johnny Hart says.
Great crowd. They are part of this story. Certainly, it's been a sold-out crowd in Foxborough, Massachusetts. They were awaiting a solid game, and they're getting one. It's 1-1 here at halftime, the USA versus Mexico. Welcome back, everyone. The road to World Cup 98 continues from Foxborough, Massachusetts. Along with Tommy Smith, I'm John Paul Dellacamera. Good game for you today. It's all even at 1. Mexico got off, Tommy, to the great start, and then the USA rebounded.
Well, Mexico got a gift in the early going, and you can see the shots now have evened out 4-3. 2-3 on the corner kicks. The fouls are fairly close. Well, the offsides are not even close. The United States haven't been caught offside yet, and the yellow cards are even at 1 apiece.
Reyna had one of those yellow cards. Davino had the other one for Mexico. 1-1 is your score. Between these two sides, it's been a great rivalry. Here are the remaining games coming up, and the United States are hopeful, Tommy, that they can get Tab Ramos back for that El Salvador game. It's not till June 29.
Well, it looks like he will be back. I mean, he's doing some light training, so that's the good news for them. Then they got a very important game against Costa Rica on September the 7th, October the 3rd, Jamaica. That could be all decided. But Mexico, well, they look like they're on cruise control at the moment, JP.
Look at how far spread that schedule is. They play June 8th, not again till October, and then they conclude on November the 16th. Mexico is expected to finish first or second, though, in this group, with the USA and Costa Rica joining out Mexico. One of 3 berths for CONCACAF in the World Cup of 98. We'll see if there are any changes out there for either side as we get ready for the second half to begin. Mexico will be going left to right this half in the green and white uniforms. USA from up here look to be the same unit. We'll check it out. Mexico on the ball. 1-1 if you're just joining us. This is Coyote, number 16. 13 is Pardo. We'll see if there are any changes here, Tommy. Tactically, a draw wouldn't be bad for Mexico. Not bad for the USA, but they'd rather get the 3 points and be tied for the top of the table. But Mexico, I'm sure, would be happy. 1 point for a road game.
Well, you can imagine that they're just going to be pushing one player up. Herbazia is the only man going to go forward. Hernandez is going to drop back a little bit deeper along the wing, JP. And they're definitely staying with that flat back 4.
That was one of the changes today for the United States, a flat back 4 instead of a sweeper setup. And also they went away a lot from the man-to-man marking to a zonal back 4. Individuals had different responsibilities as well. Steve Sampson was looking for certain matchups, and so far it looks like those matchups have paid off. Pope versus Aguinho, not only has he stopped them, but Pope also gets a goal, and Lalas has done well against Hermosillo, not involved in the goal that Hermosillo did score.
I think the one man who's missing out on everything on the equation is Reyna. He really hasn't produced the way Sampson wanted him to produce, JP.
Ramirez, number 7, up for Zaguinho. We're in the second half, just started from Foxborough. Great crowd. They are part of the story here, and the fact that the game was sold out in advance. That's never been done in a stadium this size in the United States other than in a World Cup game. Played into space. Pope coming back. Good communication between he and Keller with the dangerous Zaguinho right there.
Well, Keller read that one well, and Eddie Pope just did enough to slow Zaguinho down to give Eddie Pope the opportunity to take the ball away.
Alberto Garcia-Aspe on the far side. We're in the 47th minute of this one. 1-1. Mexico scoring on a Hermosillo goal. The United States equalizing on an Eddie Pope goal. Hernandez, 15. Back for Pardo. Suarez to the middle. Davino. Ramirez on the left. Hermosillo. You don't want to let him turn. Played across, good read by Agus, picks it off. It was intended for Hernandez. Agus versus Hernandez was one of the key matchups today as well. John Harkes up the wing. The USA captain holds it, plays it across, what a ball! Stewart tried to play it back, and it'll go for a corner. Stewart displeased with himself. It was a great try. He wanted Dooley coming across.
Well, Ramirez is the man who cut it off. Stewart, first of all, appealing. I thought it was for a handball, but he decided against that. Ramirez knocks it out for the corner. Thomas Dooley had made a tremendous run right down through the middle.
Harkes will take this corner kick. Balboa is forward, Lallis is forward, Pope is forward. Harkes keeps it low. It's cleared out, Reyna. Back for Harkes. The cross. Lallis got some help. Rios pounces on it before Balboa can.
Oh, good communication there by the Mexican defender and the Mexican keeper. Just allowed him, Pardo just allowed him to get down and gather in the ball. But you got to wonder about Johnny Harkes hitting those corners, JP. He's going short, he's going low, and it's not getting across the first defender. And he has all those big men up in the middle. He has Pope up in the middle, and he has Lallis coming through.
Ramos, when he's healthy, takes the corners pretty much for the United States, so they've had to find others to do that. And Ramos was very effective in that area. Agus pushes it ahead. Stewart chases Suarez back. Look at Wijnaldum. Rios will clear it. This is the 17th full international for Adolfo Rios, the 30-year-old goalkeeper from Mexico. Hernandez put the head down and put Agus down. Coyote, 16, would have given the right. Pardo. In a space. It's behind Hermosillo. Tackled away by Balboa. Hernandez back inside. Zaguinho with Eddie Pope. And the speed of Eddie Pope saves possibly a goal there because Zaguinho was indeed open.
What a tremendous ball from Hernandez, but on the back heel. I mean, he had everybody fooled and he just flicked it back on the back heel.
Corner kick coming up for Mexico. Galindo will take it, number 17. 5 goals in World Cup qualifying for him, counting the first round. Stewart and Pardo. And it's going against Mexico.
Well, Ernie Stewart doing a good job of tracking back. Ernie Stewart, one of those few players that's really living up to his potential today for the United States. JP, he's playing well at both ends of the field. You see him, there's the ball, Eddie Pope coming across, and he knocked it out for the corner. Good burst of speed.
Speed is something that the U.S. do not have in abundance at the back, and Eddie Pope helps that. Frankie Haydock, if he is called back to the national team, could also help in that category as well, but Haydock was slightly injured and was not available for the recall from Steve Sampson.
Once again, a terrible ball by Claudio Reyna, cross into the middle, just a hopeful lottery ball, and the Mexicans are going to win every one of those.
Oh, you can hear that one from way up here. Lallis got clipped from behind by Hermosillo.
Well, the referee said he got all ball.
Played into space and the flag is up. The USA must control their emotions. Lallis, one of the players with a yellow card to his credit. And again, the next game for the USA is in El Salvador. Not an easy place to come away with 3 points. You want all your players to be available. Casey Keller will send it long. Keller had 5 straight World Cup qualifying shutouts until the 3-2 loss in Costa Rica. Agus. Mike Sorber. Blocked. Right off Galindo. It comes back to Sorber. Sorber was a Bora Milutinovic favorite. When Bora coached the USA, he helped Mike Sorber's game, many people thought, and also helped Mike land a spot in Mexico with UNAM.
Oh, he played very well with UNAM and now back playing on the MLS, and That was joined the Metro Stars, showing very well in their first couple of games. 4 games he's played.
Harks having a go on the left. Oh, a nice move back on the left foot. Johnny Harks keeps it low. Winalda. Dooley. Torreina. Trying to give it back. Instead, it's Ernie Stewart. Sorber shanked it. Just got underneath it. And it's high and wide.
Well, just when we had nice things to say about him, that's what he goes and just puts this one away. It wasn't even close.
Tommy, the USA have several players right now warming up behind the goal of Casey Keller, so we may see a change fairly soon.
Well, one other thing that we have to take into consideration, there's a very strong wind here today, and the United States are playing right into the heat of it. The flags are all blowing down the field.
Played upfield. USA with it. A stumble, and it goes out. The appeal is made for a foul, but Ernie Stewart does not have the referee's sympathy. Our Road to World Cup 98 continues on May 1. Check your local listings for the Austria versus Estonia match.
Well, Ramirez and Ernie Stewart, that's the battle of the day, JP, over in that right-hand corner now. Those two players have been going at it since the kickoff.
Lalas in the air. A 1-1 game. If you're just joining us, we're in the 54th minute from Foxborough Stadium. Into space, Hernandez chips over Keller, and it's a goal! Hernandez!
We talked about how dangerous Hernandez is. Look at this ball just played into him. Galindo, no speed back there at all. Keller's coming out. Lattis runs into the picture, but he's facing the wrong way. No effort to get to the ball at all. Keller doesn't come off the line quick enough. Look at this. I mean, Agus is left for dead on this right-hand side. Keller's left all alone. He has no help, and Hernandez simply butts it away.
Well, that's one of the matchups that the USA wanted. Agus versus Hernandez. And that time, Hernandez got the better of Jeff Agus. There was space on that side, and he beat him. And Keller. But it has not been a Casey Keller-like performance. First goal, he lost off Hermosillo. That time, it was pretty much a break for Hernandez. But on Keller's day, he comes out and gets that probably.
Well, he was just a little bit slow off his line because he was a little bit unsure. He had no cover in the middle.
Hernandez, gifted player. We've seen him play a lot in Mexico's first division. Plays for Necaxa. Offside. Hernandez again trying to sneak by Agus. Well, that's why playing Mexico, Tommy, is so dangerous, because even when it looks like nothing is happening or sometimes you're in control, one quick break and it's over.
Well, Hernandez has shown us so much speed down here. He's shown us, I just spoke about the beautiful touch he had where he heeled the ball back, and then all of a sudden he just walks in and he lofts it over Casey Keller. I mean, he just makes it look so simple, JP. It is a simple game, but he really simplifies it, doesn't he?
Pardo.
Well, for my money, he's had some game down there on the right-hand side. I mean, he's cut out so many dangerous-looking opportunities.
Alberto Garcia Aspe into space. Pope chases Zaguinho. Zaguinho with it in deep. Try to clear it back. It goes out. Keller's ball. USA will have a goal kick.
Oh, this time Pope gets beaten to the ball, but he doesn't get beaten to the position, which is so important. He kept pushing him out, and even though he couldn't get the Hermosillo's foot, he made sure that he put it into the side net.
I think Eddie Pope is going to be a big-time player for this U.S. team, not only in 1998 in France, but in the future. Here's Stewart. Pope will play it back. Casey Keller.
That's a terrible clearance by Keller.
Galindo. Lalas with a block. He's right there, right in Hermosillo's pocket. Throw in for Agus. So Mexico will come in, Tommy, and maybe thinking about a point. Then they get the 1-goal lead. Thinking maybe about a point in the second half, as you said. They didn't need it and could play a bit defensively, and here they get that goal. Now they could look at 3 if they want.
Oh, now they've got to be thinking about 3. I mean, they realize that the US needs to pull one back even to get a share of the points.
Agus back for Lala. So again, Mexico have changed the game. Pope. A knock by Pope. Offside flag is up. It was on Harks, I believe, from the far side. It's played back to Rios. Rios almost gave it away. Wijnaldum comes in and then just lost it. Just deflected off Eric Wijnaldum.
Well, Wijnaldum with too strong of a touch on it. Rios played his defender and himself into a lot of trouble. There was no need for it at all.
Everyone warming up, everyone available for the United States warming up behind Casey Keller. But so far, no substitutions for either side.
Well, you got to feel that Reina's not going to make the 90 today and either, JP. I don't think he will anyhow. Maybe Sampson may disagree with me, but he hasn't done the job out there.
All the way to the far side.
Look at that for a pass.
Mexico attacking again with a 2-1 lead, thanks to Hernandez's goal. Hernandez with it, Agus picks him up.
They're just going to frustrate you now. Keep the ball away from you, keep spreading it wide, not make a mistake. Long ball, even if they do give it up, it's going to be in your own half.
Wijnaldum back for the United States. 3 on the attack. Wijnaldum blows by 2 Mexico players in the box. Wijnaldum. Wasn't he pushed? Wijnaldum certainly feels it. At least wants a corner. Thomas Dooley doing some arguing. And it's Mexico's ball.
Well, it looked like there was a little bit of confrontation inside of the box. It looked like there was some physical pushing. The referee wasn't hearing anything of it.
Oh, Wijnaldum, to his credit, I guess, didn't embellish it. Maybe in the end it cost him. He sort of stumbled, but never was out of the play. Sorber. Back in his own end. Hermosillo chases him in the 60th minute. Lalas to Pope. Balboa now to Jeff Agus. It's a 2-1 Mexico lead. Good ball from Agus, or not quite. Looked good at the start.
Oh, it's dangerous playing those balls across the middle against Mexico. I mean, they have so much speed to pick them off, and they read the game so well.
A better ball, that player was open. Here's Harks. USA thinking comeback once more, down by a goal. And this has been a problem for the USA. They did it twice against Costa Rica.
Let's see what happens. Ronaldo's going inside of the box. Watch for the contact. Ramirez just gives him the slightest little touch.
And Ronaldo will look up. Nothing. Back in live action, free kick for Agus. Mexico also have a player warming up on the sidelines. Offside flag was not up. Here's Reyna shooting, and it's blocked. Claudio Reyna brings it back. All the way across. Lalas was awaiting. Bernie Stewart cracks it first time, but it's high and wide.
Oh, Claudio Reyna just took himself inside of the box. Forced a good defensive play just as he was about to unleash the ball. Hermosillo is injured.
Champions League coverage coming your way on Wednesday. Manchester United versus Borussia Dortmund. Check your local listings for the time in your area. Mike Hill and Seamus Mallon will have the call of that one. Got an interesting scenario for you. Mexico is warming up a number 20 jersey, and in the official starting lineup, there is none. So we'll check that out if it happens. Here's Wijnaldum. This one is going out. Corner kick. USA.
Burrows up to his old tricks, is he?
Maybe. There is no 20. It's blank in the official roster.
Well, he kind of told us earlier that Sanchez would start and that Suarez wouldn't start, but then we got the word just before the kickoff that was changed.
Everyone was stunned at that. Harks from the far side. Lalas got to it, but it's over the bar.
Oh, this time Harks does get the ball across into the big men and gives them the opportunity to get onto the end of it, but Lalas Nobody picked him up, and he just rose up and knocked it over the top.
Eric Ronaldo shut down today. No real good scoring chances for this great goal scorer. Ronaldo's played very well in Germany and obviously here in the United States. He plays now with the San Jose Clash.
Well, he scored a historic goal. His name will be in the history books forever when he scored the first goal in the MLS. The Clash beating DC.
USA will get this ball back over the halfway line. Agus feeding it. Miskicked by Harks. Lallis chases. Harks coming back to help out. Lallis will win it, but a foul is called on the USA. And there's going to be a substitution. Zaguinho will leave, and Nicolas Ramirez will come in. Nicolas Ramirez is Ramon Ramirez's younger brother. So that mystery has been cleared up, but there is no official number 20 on Mexico's team. There is now because he's out there. Nicolas Ramirez plays with Santos. He is an attacking midfielder. Wide to the right side. Here comes Pardo. Abel Pardo giving it up. Tackled away by Dooley. Help from Ernie Stewart. 2-1 Mexico leading in the 64th minute. Stewart with a ball too far for Dooley. Dooley got a piece but not all. Here's Mike Sorber keeping it on its way. Harks and Reyna. Claudio Reyna lost it, gave it back to Eddie Pope. Wide to the right side, USA playing it. And a giveaway. And then it's lost by Hermosillo. Balboa was right there to win it with Agus. Right into space and right to the goalkeeper, Rios. Mexico with it on the left side. They lead 2-1. 64 minutes have come and gone now. Foxborough. Here's Hermosillo. Holding. Playing it back for Galindo. Ramon Ramirez stripped. They're going to say Dooley came in too hard. Foul on Thomas Dooley.
Well, they're saying that he made contact with Ramirez's ankle. One of the few times we've seen Ramirez come down through the middle, JP. I mean, he's been coming up on that left wing occasionally.
That's where he's most dangerous, on that left wing. You're watching the Road to World Cup 98 from Foxborough, Massachusetts. A false start on that one, and they'll do it again. It's a 2-1 Mexico lead. The last goal was by Hernandez in the 54th. Your go-ahead goal and potential game winner. Free kick, Mexico. Struck hard, but right at Keller. And again, it's Del Olmo. I'm sorry, Garcia Aspe.
Well, he has that wicked shot. Can hit it with either feet, and that time he get it through the wall, and Keller was in the right position.
Casey Keller's clearance. Wijnaldum. Reyna. Try to go back inside and return the favor. Agus. Oh, the referee was in the way. Stewart knocks it back. Sorber keeps it going. He wanted John Harks.
I'm not sure why Reyna didn't just go on his own, JP, why he wanted the park with the ball at all. It was falling kindly for him, and he had a path right into the goalkeeper.
Throw it inside for Dooley. Here's Agus. Ernie Stewart. Now to Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum's crosses blocked. Hernandez there on the double team and the clearance.
Oh, once again, Pardo is the man who knocked down that cross. He has cut out so many efforts by the U.S. today.
Oh, Pope brought down.
Ramirez is going to get the yellow.
Yeah, it's coming. It'll take a while, but he's got it. Ramon Ramirez, that's the third yellow card of the day. Bora Milutinovic had that one big win here in this stadium against England. US Cup 93, hopeful for another in what he calls a homecoming.
Well, this to me is a surprise. I mean, Ramirez is pushing forward more now than he did in the first half, and they're leading 2-1. Why do you push him forward at this stage? You're looking for another goal? I'm not sure why.
Stewart, and that's given away several of those today from the United States. When they played against Costa Rica, twice they came back, but then they still gave up that game-winning goal to Costa Rica. They're hopeful that this one doesn't end that same way, but right now they're 1 goal away from tying it. Here's Agus. Agus getting free. Good pass to Wijnaldum. The crowd on their feet. Wijnaldum looking. Crosses. Rios is there. Adolfo Rios gives you about 3 or 4 inches more than Jorge Campos. He's listed at 5'10". He's all of that in the air.
And now I can see why Ramirez is pushing forward, because they've dropped into sub. They came in behind in his spot, and Ramirez has now moved out. He's playing left of midfield. The number 20 player, the other Ramirez, is going to drop into his spot.
They're keeping it in the family. USA's ball. 68th minute, 2-1 Mexico. Mexico are on top of the group in CONCACAF with 7 points. They'll be 6 points ahead of the United States if this victory would hold up, if the score holds up. Hermosillo to Hernandez. Hernandez and Agus. Agus with him, and now Lalas. Back tripped by Hernandez.
Hernandez is going to get the card, a red one.
Whoa! That's an interesting call. I wasn't expecting that, were you?
Not at all, not at all. It seemed like 2 players going for the ball, and it looked like Hernandez just caught him. Didn't look like there was any intent in it, but the referee said, "Hasta la vista, baby, you're out of here."
I can't believe that call.
And he was so quick on it. Let's watch it again. Hernandez coming in. Look at that. He just comes in. He goes for the ball. That's not a red card. The only thing he's saying is that the tackle came from behind. So, I mean, if you go by what they were saying in World Cup 94, you give red cards in that situation, but nobody has been doing it. That's a tough call.
You know, Tommy, if that happens in the offensive end and you could say he's breaking up a scoring chance, Lalas is in his own end defensively. I mean, there's no reason for that. That's a shocker. And Bora Milutinovic is having some words with Ernie Stewart, it looked like, right in front of the sideline.
Well, Ernie Stewart was complaining to the 4th official how come Hernandez was walking down along the field. And Bora Milutinovic came out and he told Ernie what he thought, but then the lad 5, I mean, they shook hands. Sam's Army are happy. Burrow's making wholesale changes here now. It's going to be a containment game for the US, for Mexico.
It's a controversial red card for Hernandez, to say the least. The man who scored what could be the game winner is out. Now, can the USA take advantage in the next 20 minutes with the extra man? Sorber from Pope.
Well, now I think they've got to go out of that flat back 4, JP. They've got to start using a sweeper again, and they've got to start pushing the corners up.
Mike Sorber to Jeff Agus. Well, that's one way to get Hernandez's speed out of the lineup. Look at this, though, on the steal. Good move by Pardo. Had nobody else going forward. Coyote. Now Hermosillo. Garcia Aspe plays it up. Now Ramon Ramirez, so versatile, is number 7 for Mexico. Wide to the left. Mexico's cross is cleared by Sorber, but it's cleared out of play.
Amazingly, Mexico are down to 10 men, and they're the first team to put the pressure on.
And you talked about the strategy, Tommy, in terms of pushing more players forward. I wonder if Steve Sampson will indeed go to the bench as well and bring someone else in to partner perhaps Ronaldo or someone else in the midfield.
Well, it's a good move, not alone just to get in fresh legs as well as everything else. So it gives you an opportunity to put somebody on who could outrest his defenders.
Mason on the bench gives you your speediest player. No real good experience, only the one game, but if you're looking for someone that can fly out there, that's him. But we'll see if Steve Sampson calls on the bench, if and when, and who. Here's Ernie Stewart.
Well, he has everybody warmed up. They're all ready.
Claudio Reyna. Reyna side by side, gave it up. Here's Ernie Stewart, chipping it in. He tried for Thomas Dooley, who is now pushing forward more. Stewart to Reyna. Reyna shrugs off one tackler, plays it across, brought down off Ronaldo. Ramirez. Straight ahead and a push by Reyna. Free kick Mexico in the 72nd minute.
Oh, Claudio Arena looks really drained. You see him trying to get a little bit of oxygen.
Champions League action comes your way on Wednesday. Tommy and I will have the call of the Juventus versus Ajax match. Juventus leading in the aggregate thanks to a first leg 2-1 victory in Holland. Eddie Pope. He has the only United States goal today. Marcelo Balboa. Agus tackled away. Throw in for the United States.
Well, you just wonder how long will Burrows stay with Hermosillo out there. I mean, he can bring on a defender now. I'm surprised he hasn't made a move.
Balboa across. Eddie Pope brings it down. Pope pushing it up. He wanted Dooley. It's back to the goalkeeper Rios in the 73rd minute.
I mean, he said he was going to start Suarez, so maybe he'll be the first man he'll take in. He has a couple of players warming up.
Rios getting ready to put it back. Balboa to Eddie Pope. The lights have been turned on here at Foxborough Stadium. Will it be lights on or lights out for the United States, who trail Mexico in the 74th minute, 2-1.
Oh, there's a half-hearted Mexican wave starting to take place around the stadium.
USA with a flick on to Ernie Stewart. Stewart in deep. Look cross. Dooley trying to flick it on. And it goes in.
No goal.
USA have scored.
Should be Ramirez, I believe. He heads the ball into his own net.
Initially, Tommy, I thought it was going to go wide.
Well, here's the ball being nodded across. Watch Ramirez over there, the number 20 player. Thomas Dooley nods it on to him. He turns around and he heads it in. That's obviously an own goal. I mean, he just slips it in off the post.
Should be an own goal. The USA could care less. It's in. It's tied.
It's on the scoreboard. That's all that matters.
74th minute. Off Ramirez, the younger Ramirez, who came on as a sub, Nicholas.
Well, we just remarked how they had dropped them into that spot, and you can see the ball. Watch, Dooley gets a flick onto it. Ramirez is facing the wrong way, and look at that. It just beats the keeper, slips in off the post, and it ends up being a tremendous goal for the United States. A very, very important goal.
And Rios was there. Looked like he had that post covered. Coming back the other way, Agus settles it over the halfway line. USA and Mexico are tied at 2. Remember, Mexico down a man with the Hernandez red card. Stewart across, deflected out for a corner. Momentum again for the United States, who have tied it for the second time today. Reyna now is taking the corners. Harks was. Reyna put it in. He wanted Lalas. It comes straight out. Here's Sorber. Switching it wide. Reyna again on the ball. Stewart looking for the give and go. He's got it. He's in. Stewart blocked and cleared out by Mexico's Ramirez. Nicholas Ramirez cleared it up. Here's Galindo. Look at the speed on that flank. Ramon Ramirez going. Blocked out. Mike Sorber with a brilliant play one-on-one. Sorber is not a defender, which makes it even more of a brilliant play.
Well, if he doesn't make the play, it's curtains, because Ramirez is going to walk in, but Ramirez had to slow down. He had no posse with him at all. He was just on his own. He was waiting for the rest of the players to come up. He slows it down a little bit. Wagner looks like he's coming on.
Thomas Dooley will leave to a tremendous ovation. And Bora Milutinovic just gave Thomas Dooley a hug on the way out. Dooley was one of Bora's favorite players for sure. And that's when Thomas Dooley came out of the team, when Bora Milutinovic was the coach. it's good to see even throughout this rivalry, the hug right there.
Wagner born in Germany.
In fact, Wagner is a Dooley project. Dooley was one that recommended Wagner. USA checked out, found Wagner was available to play for the USA, and here he is.
German mom and American dad, so he's eligible to play.
Plays in the same team as does Dooley, Schalke. This is his 4th cap. And another change. Alexi Lalas will leave. And Michael Mason will check in. Mason has brilliant speed, blinding speed, if you will. Another player who plays in Germany. Same kind of a story as Wagner. Wijnaldum pushing forward, getting around his man, and now it's cleared. Here's Sorber. On the run, a trip by Mexico. Free kick USA.
Yellow card.
Yeah, another one. You can see the referee going to his pocket.
Oh, he's giving it to Galindo. He's been pretty quick with those cards in the second half, hasn't he? This sets up a great opportunity for the United States, although one of the big men has gone out. Lalas is not there to come up on the middle.
I thought Lalas played well today. He's been much maligned, and he himself admits 1996 was a poor year. Had a strong game, I thought, today against Hermosillo. He may play part of the second game. It's the New England Revolution home opener. Coming up about 45 minutes after this one, not televised internationally. Here's Reyna, shooting it. Well over Rios. Mexico down to 10 players because of the Hernandez ejection. We're in the 79th minute. USA have tied it. There is Alexi Lalas on the bench. He needed a good performance today to get that confidence level back up. All set for the throw-in. Agus. Parks. Moreno lofting it. Inside of the box. And Davino's got it, but it's going against the USA. Steve Sampson trying to beat Bora Milutinovic for the first time in 3 meetings. A draw and a loss so far for Steve Sampson as the head coach against Bora. If Sampson can win this game, he'll be second all-time in USA wins. He is currently tied with Bob Gansler.
Oh, Mexico taking on another sub now. Galindo's coming off, I believe.
Hermosillo, no?
No.
No, it is going. Hermosillo's talking to Bora. I saw him coming off. But
Del Almo is coming on.
Hermosillo came over with some words with Bora Milutinovic. Maybe Bora's got something else up his sleeve. They only have 10 players, but Lalas is in fact out.
Well, Ernie Stewart welcomed Del Almo onto the field. Maybe he has something up his sleeve.
Coming through, Mexico.
Well, the one thing the US doesn't want to happen now is they don't want to give up another goal. I mean, this would be a terrible way to lose a match with the extra man. After tying it up on that own goal, you don't want to give the Mexicans back the advantage.
Del Olmo on the throw, and he's the only player from Mexico that's playing in Europe. He now plays with Vitesse. Here's Stewart. Broken up by Mexico. Mexico going forward. That's blocked. Wide to the right side. Mason. Michael Mason up for Wijnaldum. Eddie Pope going long. There's that speed of Mason we talked about. Mason behind the defense. In the box. Across. Wide. Wagner and Mason almost collaborate on what could have been a game-winning goal. The German connection.
Oh, he should have put it away. He's wide open in front of the goal. A brilliant long ball from Eddie Pope. He sends it about 40 yards down along the right wing. Look at this. Watch the ball fed across into the middle. Brilliant speed on the outside. He takes one bad step, but he feeds it inside. Look at this. The goal is at his mercy, and he flicks it wide.
On that replay, it looked like there could have been a deflection. If there was, maybe that's why Wagner didn't get it as well. I didn't see it when we did it live.
What a ball from Eddie Pope, but
brilliant. Mexico had best beware of the speed on the right side with Pope and Mason. And the fresh legs of Wagner.
Well, that could be the key. I mean, the defender's now starting to get a little bit tired, and there's two sets of fresh legs out there with a lot of speed.
Pope to Reyna. They try to find Mason in space. We're in the 83rd minute, even at 2. You're watching the road to World Cup '98 from Foxborough Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts. The United States have twice come back from 1-goal deficits, and they've got the extra man with the Hernandez red card. Right sideline. Here's the USA on the attack again. Up a deflection. Corner kick.
Could have gone anywhere, but it goes out for the corner.
Wagner and Mason are making things happen. Park's now going over to take it. USA with the edge in corners in the second half. Some pushing going on in front of the box. Mason, who just came in with Alberto Garcia Aspe. Park sends it wide. Intended for Ronaldo, that ball crossed out.
Well, earlier the US were kicking him far too short. Now he goes long, but he puts it over the byline.
84th minute, a 2-2 game. This is everything a USA-Mexico game is always cracked up to be.
Referee's going in to have a chat with him, wasting time.
Long clearance, headed up by Balboa. Remember the new rule that starts internationally in July. A goalkeeper can only hold the ball for 6 seconds. Coming back, Wagner chasing, got some help, Mason. Good work rate from Mason. Wagner, this is wide. Ronaldo, that was out. But you're seeing a resurgence in this U.S. team.
Well, you have a lot of speed in there now, JP, and you have two sets of fresh legs coming in. I'm surprised Burrow hasn't done something to try to nullify them, because they're running a riot down that right-hand side of the field. I mean, these defenders have been playing with 10 men for the last 10-15 minutes, and now they're trying to catch up. Look at this one. Here's the situation.
We're back live, and there's Agus, and it's Mexico's ball on a pushing foul on the United States. Tremendous atmosphere today at Foxborough Stadium, where it's been sold out for days. Steve Sampson looking on, hopeful for a victory. Later today, Serie A football, Fiorentina versus Roma for our Latin America audience only. Pardo. Alberto Garcia Aspe going wide. Ramon Ramirez gets behind the defense. Ramirez looks, crosses. Settled. Big shot blocked. Agus blocking the shot from Del Olmo.
Oh, you can see how dangerous the Mexicans are when they come under the attack like that. I mean, that was a brilliant shot, but Agus just put his body in the way.
And Tommy, against the run of play, everything has been going the USA way, and they must be careful.
All of a sudden, Ramirez just gets in behind them. That's the danger. Once you let them in behind the defenders and they square the ball back, that's real good style Mexican play. They look to hammer it across in the box.
This one goes out of play. Throw in coming up.
Oh, Mexico's working on the clock at the moment.
Depending on injury time, there is not much left here, about 4 minutes. Mexico twice led by a goal. They saw Hernandez red carded out.
Oh, this is not very intelligent play by the U.S. defenders, knocking the ball into touch. I mean, they're allowing the clock to run down.
Bora Milutinovic looking to go to his 4th World Cup, coaching 3 different countries. It would be a repeat for Mexico. He coached them in '86, Costa Rica in '90, and the USA in '94. Here's Agus. Ernie Stewart. Wagner holds. Stewart was knocked down. He's just getting back up. Reyna giving it up. Sorber looks for the give and go. Doesn't come through. Blocked by Ramirez. Nicolas Ramirez blocked the other way by Reyna. Michael Mason will bring it down. Mason looks, fakes. That cross will go out for a throw in deep.
Oh, Ramirez steps in and closes it down. One of the few times that Mason has been closed down on that right wing.
USA with ball possession. They've got the extra man. Sorber wings it across. Agus. That flat back four is long gone now. You've got Balboa pretty much as a sweeper. And other players like Agus and Pope pushing way up. Even now at 2-2. Sorber now to Balboa, who will advance, and Sorber will make sure he's got his position. Now Balboa drops. Played inside. Loose ball. Pope on the turn. Stewart with a knockback inside the box for Wijnaldum. Reyna trying to bring it down. It's cleared away in the 88th minute.
Anything now, just get it out of there for Mexico. There's a lot of pushing going on. Wijnaldum's getting himself involved. He's got to be careful.
Inside, the header towards Rios, who's got it.
Oh, Rios was almost caught, JP. He's done it out of the edge of the 6-yard box, just been a spectator. Eric Wijnaldum doing a lot of pushing down there. The referee has taken one look at him. You don't want to take a yellow card now. He'd miss the next game.
89th minute. Good game from Foxborough Stadium. Balboa with the clearance. Here's Ramirez with that speed, picked up by Reyna. Wijnaldum. Numbers going forward for the United States, even at 2. Closing moments of the game. Wijnaldum across. Rios punches it out. Net's empty. The shot. Oh, it's cleared by Mexico. Looked like the go-ahead goal. Here comes the United States again with Ernie Stewart. Stewart, that's too long for Agus. In the 90th minute, we almost saw the United States bring this crowd right to their feet.
Suarez is the man, I believe, who's going to take it off the line. Watch, the keeper's beaten. Here's the ball in behind him. Ball comes back out. Here's the header taken right off the line. What a brilliant defensive play. That one saved the game. That one was bound for the net.
John Harkes, the captain, almost gets the game winner. We're in the 90th minute. Tied at 2. Mexico clears. Take your pick as to who fouled. They're going to say Pope did. Mexico will have a free kick. And you've got to watch Alberto Garcia Aspe from here.
Well, you can almost bet JP he's going to have a go. What's left? I mean, almost an injury time as it is.
And this is well within his range. He's about 40 yards out. We're in injury time as Alberto Garcia Aspe strikes it. It's headed up. Keller, not sure who got it. Not wanting to take chances and giving up a corner kick there. Smart play by Casey Keller.
Almost handed it outside of the box. He almost stepped outside of the box.
Keller's clearance.
Oh, it's a terrible clearance. Look at it, it's into touch.
Half a minute gone in injury time. Is that it? Oh, they want to make a substitution. Yeah, Ramirez coming out. 19, Ricardo Pelaez. This is a great goal scorer. You wonder what's going on down there. Why would you make that change now?
Well, I think it's just a strategy session. Burrow wants to have a chat with a few of the players. Exactly. He wants to run off some time off the clock. He's sending in an experienced player. Slows it all down now. They have control of the ball.
That's the only reason, only logical explanation. It was not a tactical switch. Throw in for Mexico. And some interference on that sideline. I think some of the substitutes were too close. Reyna to Harkes. Wide right, USA pressing forward. How much injury time? That's the question. Well over a minute and a half gone now. Eddie Pope, tough tackle, no card there. A surprise considering the way the cards have come out in this half.
I don't think he even gives a foul. He's going to just let the throw in be taken.
Throw in for Mexico, surprisingly. And now it's the USA's ball. Steve Sampson looking on at a 2-2 tie right now. But there's still time apparently. Sorba. Wijnaldum. Wagner was looking for it. It comes out. Mexico with it. Tackled away. Reyna wide right. And that's it. Game over. A well-played, hard-fought game between the United States and Mexico ends 2-2. Twice, Tommy, the USA had to come back, and they could have and should have won the game, but a great play at the back on a clearance. Otherwise, John Harkes would have had the game-winning goal in the 90th minute.
Oh, yeah, there was one just before that where it should have been put in the net, too. The United States came up with a few good chances. Hernandez has been such a great game, JP. Watch, he's just going to walk inside, and as the keeper comes out, he slips it over him.
Hernandez's goal gave this side some life. Later, Hernandez was red carded.
Now look at this, he just blows by Egas, and Keller doesn't come off the line quickly enough. No way Lallis can get back to it, and he just tucks it into the empty net. Well, this time it's going to be touched across. Look at this, the man coming across, Ramirez puts his head on it. Thomas Dooley had got a touch on it, and he put it right onto the head of Ramirez, and Ramirez knocks it in wide of the keeper. Look, it just goes in off the post.
So it ends up as a 2-2 game, so each team will get a point, so the gap does not narrow between these two teams.
Oh, Mexico's still on top. They're in a good position. The United States, well, that moves them up into a good spot to take the second place in this particular group, and they look pretty good at the moment.
Well, Mexico has dominated in their history against the United States, but in the last 10 meetings and now 11, it has been dead even, and maybe this was fitting the way this one ended today with the USA and Mexico all even at 2.
Oh, there's certainly a lot of entertainment. Casey Keller a little bit slow reacting. Alexi Lalas doesn't get into the play, and the ball ends up slipping into the back of the net.
We remind you to stay tuned. Mike Hill is up next with the World Football Report, so please keep it here on ESPN. We hope you have enjoyed our road to World Cup 98. The United States fights back twice to get a 2-2 draw with Mexico. For Tommy Smith, I'm John Paul De La Camera. We say so long from a sold-out Foxborough Stadium. Thanks for watching today's action on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.